You're listening to Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official podcast of Lingerie Fighting Championships. And now, here's your host, Michael Larkin.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships podcast. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me today, as always, it is a pleasure for a round two with this lovely human being over here for y'all. If y'all have been not checking out the independent professional wrestling scene and just doing her work as a whole, my goodness gracious, she is LFC prospect. She is professional wrestler, Miss Laylah James. How are you, Laylah?
Hi, I'm so happy to be back.
The feeling is mutual, I gotta say. We'll get into a lot of the wrestling that you've been doing because you've been constantly traveling. You've been constantly on the grind. I gotta say, I'm very happy to see where your journey's taking you, man, because you are making an impact with your entrance and all your aesthetics and your presentation. I'm happy to see what you're doing. I love it.
Thank you so much. I know it's kind of like you've been watching me grow.
Absolutely. But that's the thing, too. I think in the world of professional wrestling, especially on the Northeast or wherever you go in your travels, it's almost like the territory days where you go from town to town. You're kind of like the old song in the 60s from Dion, the Wanderer. You go around, 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 around. But that's what makes professional wrestling worth it. It's the trials and tribulations, it's the ups and downs, but it's the money and the miles at the same time.
Absolutely.
And for you, let's put into fruition here as well, because you, being an LFC prospect, and we'll get into a lot of the great stuff that Laylah's been doing, folks, because my God, she is constantly on the grind. But on the LFC side of things, we mentioned it last time, your interest in LFC. We talked about many different opponents that you wanted to face in Bella Madison, who is now the goddess of chaos, Madison, as previously she was the Rebel Princess. But dang it, man, I got to say, still happy to see you as a prospect. But when you make that LFC debut, boy, woo, I'm excited. So I'm happy to even just see even rise the rankings in LFC.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm ready, and I'm still ready to have my one-on-one with Bella.
Oh, my goodness. Well, she is the booty camp champion now. So, I mean, a title match with a Bella Madison and Laylah James, you already have me hooked for that, man.
Yeah, I would love to.
Absolutely. And I think with how LFC in the direction they're going, as the LFC is going to the UK for the Cardiff Wales show as well as the London show in July, I look at it like this, man, the constant grind, even with LFC from going from international side to stateside, when you have a product that really focuses on MMA, wrestling, sensuality, voluptuosity, and everything that goes into the product, you can't go wrong. And I think you can equate it to wrestling as well. The aesthetic, the presentation, the sexiness, the elegance, it's all what makes a great character and what really makes the presentation of professional wrestling, because there's all little traits there too.
Yes, absolutely. That's my thing. That's what I love. That's one of the things that captured my eyes with LFC is that. And I was like, oh, I definitely have to hop on that.
I think in today's day and age as well, where people are always going to say what they say, and I mean, as the old saying goes, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them, but I think in today's day and age, where everything is more normalized with how we view things from the internal and external beauty side of things. I mean, back in the day, you had the LFL, the Lingerie Football League. It's badass women kicking ass and taking names, and they're playing football, but they're looking sexy and they're looking overall sexy when it comes to the overall aesthetic of it. And I mean, you have women like Summer Rae, who came from LFL, went to the WWE and did her thing in the WWE realm. So I think there's a place for everything. And I think in an audience as well, look at it like people who watch wrestling from the indies and watching the mainstays and programs that we see on TV. There's an audience and a variety really for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things is that I feel like a lot of people put their insecurities on others. So I feel like when people see like people that are confident doing their thing, living their life, that's when they have something negative to say about it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with you, and I think what I've always admired about you, my dear friend, and the love and respect here is just absolutely immense here. I love the fact that you got your foot on the ground running. You're doing the travel like we mentioned, but what's great about it too is you know what you want, you know what you're doing, you know how to make the entrance, you know how to do the great power moves like a power bomb, like a catatonic, like a fallaway slam right into like a power slam type of vibe. There's everything that you make. It makes sense and makes the transition, and that tells a damn good story all in the process.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I got to say, how important is that for you? Because I've seen a lot of your reels and I've seen the highlights that you do. And I'm always enamored with the fact that you always go for like the power slams, the power bombs. Like we mentioned, the catatonic, the fall away slam into like a side sit out slam. Like stuff like that is very impactful and it makes its way that goes into great matches, man.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly just, I mean, I used to be more into trying to do, my athletic stuff. And, you know, I told myself, I just got to stand out. A lot of girls are doing all the like the flippy moves and things like that. So I had to think of things that would make me stand out. And, so I had to think of, some stuff. And I thought, me being a powerhouse, that's what makes me very unique. Most of the time in a lot of my matches. Usually I'm always the one that is, more dominant. And that's what makes me different. That's what makes me unique and stand out. So I and plus it's my specialty. I mean I'm strong, I'm tall. So I mean it makes sense for me to be doing power moves.
I look at it like it stands like this, and I love how you put it with the gymnastics and all stuff like that. Because I mean, you can have a Sol Ruka with what she's doing now in NXT as the Women's North American Champion. You can have someone like an Ivy Nile who's very much submission ground game of what she does with the Dragon Sleeper, and then we can have a badass like yourself who can showcase the power game. I mean, back in the day, you had China doing power bombs, you had China doing military press slams. Dare I even say the Glamazon Beth Phoenix, what she used to do with that doggone Glam Slam, man. It's stuff like that that fits. It doesn't matter what era it is. If you go to focus on the power game and if you focus on different styles, you're going to resonate and generate and translate with everyone. So we mentioned there's something for everybody, but also at the same time too, that's what makes you stand out. And that's so important in any facet of life that you are part of.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the facets of life that you're a part of, one of the organizations that you work with as far as promotion goes, I got to give a shout out to Bell to Bell. Missy Sampson has been doing great work over there in the Monster Factory in New Jersey as well. Talk about working from Bell to Bell, because I've seen the stuff that you did there with Clara Carreras and Vicious Vicky and so many great people that were involved with that roster. Talk about doing Bell to Bell, because my God, man, Northeast is heating up, and that is a great women's promotion, very much needed with so many great professional wrestling promotions out there.
Yeah, belt to belt, Missy is amazing, and I think she's really great. I'm happy that she's running the belt to belt and all women's promotion. The times I've been there, it's always been so friendly, so supportive. It's just good to be in a room full of women that are doing the same thing, and it's actually quite refreshing because most of my wrestling career, I've always just been with men. It's very male dominated in the wrestling up here in upstate. So it's really refreshing to be around other girls doing the same thing as me, and it's great. I love it, and it was a wonderful experience. And the good thing and the exciting thing that I just found out recently is I am on the official roster for Bell to Bell. So that is something really big for me. I'm excited to be a part of the whole, roster.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations to you, Miss Laylah James. That's awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. I think I cannot wait not only to see you there, but I always equate it to like this, not just a great women's promotion like Bell to Bell coming out. Think of it back in the day, if we rewind the clock back to 2005, right? Shimmer's coming into its own. We have Shine. We have so many women's promotions. It's such a great focal point from back in the day when women would only get such a minuscule amount of time as far as wrestling goes. And then the alternative, if you didn't want to watch what WWE was doing, you could go to Shimmer and they're doing like these banger 15 to 20 matches and actually letting the girls wrestle. It's certainly come a long way from those days. And I think even adding another women's promotion or any wrestling promotion is key. If you have the right attitude, you have the right mindset. And Missy certainly does that. And she's been doing wonders, much like yourself within the promotion. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I got to say, stuff like that makes me so happy to hear. And I mean, I think what's great about it too is as well, a lot of the women like you worked with, like we mentioned, the Clara Carreras and the Vicious Vickies. I mean, a lot of these women, it's great to get their exposure out there as well. Some of them have done some AEW darks or appeared on AEW television. So I have no doubt in my mind when that does happen and the fruition is there, I hope to see even do some Ring of Honor stuff, some AEW appearances, what have you, man. That journey is just worth taking, man. I know you're going to continue to go far with everything that you do.
Yes, I mean that's one of my goals, definitely, for sure. I mean, I love, like I said, things really have come a long way with wrestling. Now there's more opportunities to be able to have your shot. Back then, we didn't have those chances, and I love that wrestling has evolved for everyone.
Oh, agreed. I always used to hate this term. Everything that was identified from a women's match, and this is not all men. I'm excluding myself out of this. I'm going to take myself out of this, but I'll say from what I've seen with how wrestling used to be in the male-oriented mindset was just like, oh, women's match is a piss break. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, no, no. Hold on one second right now. I mean, if you take away the bikini contests and the bra and panties matches, we got some badass women that can wrestle. And I mean, look at guys like Fit Finley who are like, you know what? Yeah, I'll help these women wrestle. I will train these women. Or even if you look at like what they did with Robbie Brookside in NXT, because Robbie Brookside helped his daughter Zaya and so many women down there as well. So you're having men work with more women and actually getting them the right proper etiquette and the right proper timing and everything that makes a great wrestler and a great wrestling match and story. So it's more focused and driven on women now, and it's all more focused and driven on professional wrestling as a whole. And like you mentioned, open-mindedness is key. And I think you concur as well. You have to expand your horizons in anything that you do.
Yes, absolutely.
And speaking of expanding your horizons, man, you have also done some great work as well with the Dynasty. Let's talk about this. The Dynasty, actually, even looking into it on my end, another great promotion and another place for people to wrestle, much like yourself. And in general, I'm really excited to see where that promotion goes. Talk about doing the Dynasty, man, because that was some badass entrances, some badass matches. Talk about it, Layla.
Yeah, so Dynasty I actually would consider like my home promotion that I actually made my debut there a year ago, and I've been coming back ever since. I've been back. I am an actual person on the roster there as well, which I'm very happy. But yeah, I've come a long way. I actually came in as like this big dominant heel to now being like one of the top baby faces in the women's division. And it's very a lot of the I have a really big fan base there at Dynasty. A lot of people love me there, and I love the people. Feels like home. The venue is always amazing. um yeah, like you said, the great entrances, the lights, it's like a really good experience wrestling there.
I think
And I was able to experience my first ever ladder match there for Dynasty. So that was a memory too. That's actually something you can catch in one of my reels on my Instagram. And so yeah, so it's exciting. I love Dynasty.
that's the thing too. I mean, even seeing the ladder matches in your reels, like you mentioned, I think what's great about it too, as well, is when you look at the place like Dynasty, where you can transition from being a heel to babyface and really up your character and work on both sides of the spectrum here. It works and it gets to where you need to get and actually helps you work both the babyface and heel dynamic. I think that's so keen in anything, and that teaches the fundamentals. And I also like the fact too, like you've been traveling from Maine, from Virginia, from New York, from Jersey, from everything. We talked about the money and the miles, but I mean, is there anything like you could see from the Northeast to where the crowds go? I got to say, the fan base is rabid for any wrestling promotion or any wrestling territory or any wrestling city in town. But my God, man, you get to see the rabid fan bases in each and every town that you hit, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it a great experience, being able to experience like all different types of crowds. And you kind of like will see like what crowds are really like hard wrestling fans and what ones aren't. Um and like it's just fun, like the experience of even like the long trips, that's rewarding at the end, being able to travel like 8 hours. Like, Virginia is one of my other places I go to, which I actually am going to this upcoming Saturday next week. So I'm really excited about that. Next up is a place that I go to in Hampton. That's actually my longest trip that I've done so far. um, but I'm ready for more. I told myself, me doing this, my goal is to really, I want people to know who Layla James is. So I have to be everywhere. I want to be everywhere. I want everyone to know who I am.
Absolutely, and I will say, I will say as a spoiler alert, as when we do end this interview, folks, if you want to check the descriptions as well, I'm going to put in the Grapple Pros, the World Wrestling Domination Alliance, and everything that Layla said, so you can check out these great promotions because it really is a dime to see you compete on all these promotions. I think like a World Domination Wrestling Alliance, something that's new and something that really is fresh to people. I think what I've always loved to as well is like growing up in New York. You can have the New York Wrestling Connection on Long Island. You could go to Jersey All Pro Wrestling in New Jersey at the time. You could go to anywhere from New England Championship Wrestling, from everything from Northeast Wrestling. There's always something for everybody, but the travel's worth taking, especially like you mentioned, the rabid fan base. We know what we're getting. We know what we're spending our money on, and we know what we're spending our tickets on, because I think from the fans' perspective, it could be like, hey, I saw Layla James at such and such show. Man, I cannot wait to see where she's going to be next. So they follow you and the fan base gets growing. And then if you hit the big time, if you hit the main, if you hit the WWE's, AEW's, what have you, it's great to see that growth. And I think that is the main goal of anything. Like you mentioned, you just want to be everywhere. And I got to say, we want to see you everywhere. It's like the friggin' PayPal commercial with Will Ferrell. I want to pay with you everywhere. Well, we want to see you everywhere, Layla James.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's the best part about it. I mean, speaking of everywhere, and we'll come back to wrestling here in a second here and great talk about that great storytelling and the great people that you work with. But my God, man, cardio with Layla, some fitness style things. Now, doing your fitness side of things, doing the wrestling side of things, really expanding in that market, man, because you take your health so seriously. You always stay positively proactive within that realm. Talk about the cardio side of things, man, because it definitely shows you look great.
Thank you so much. I try. Well, the last time I was here with you, that was kind of like something that I was mentioning that I was working on getting back into. So, now I'm here doing it in Rochester. I have some other things behind the scenes that I'm working on to do some online stuff. But yeah, so every Tuesday here in Rochester, New York, I do a class every Tuesday at 6 p.m. at my YMCA. And it's free for everyone, for the community. And I basically just help people get in shape. And I've had people that have been consistently coming every Tuesday. They always look forward to it. And I'm hoping to really expand in other cities. I'm actually, my goal, hopefully, it can work out, but I'm hoping that whatever city I'm in for wrestling, I also will do like a boot camp class that weekend in that city. So I'm really hoping to expand also my fitness to where people really know who Layla is, and oh, she's in town, she's going to run a boot camp class, so that's kind of something I also am trying to work on, you know. So I just want to be able to, show people that, like whatever fitness level you are, you can do anything you put your mind to, and you just got to really push and work, like a lot of my classes are more so you know time based, where I tell people, this is your hour to really give it your all, so I always have people really push themselves. They have you have 3 rounds to do an exercise, and you have 1 full minute to do as many as you can. And it really helps people push, and really they just know they got to do as many as they can for that 1 minute. And then the second round, they try to challenge themselves, like, okay, well, I could only do 15 the first round. Let me try to get 20 the second round. It's just a way of being able to push people. And then the next week, see if they can improve, see if they can do more, each round. So it's really exciting. I'm so proud of my girls that are there now. They've really come a long way. And pretty soon I'll start documenting videos of me, training them. Once they get comfortable, they're still a little shy to be in front of the camera, but once they're comfortable, I will be showing their progress. So, yeah.
Layla, I love that, number one. And number two, I think always being the best representation of your presentation, accommodating and making your people comfortable when it comes to classes and the people that come to it. I got to say, if I was to equate this to what we get to see in professional wrestling, it's kind of like the Trish Stratus vibes, where Trish Stratus can do yoga for God's sake, but she can still kick butt and take names at her age. I mean, I look at it like this, man. You could kind of be like the modern day Trish Stratus. I'm going to whip you into shape. I'm going to work on some fitness. We're going to put some boot camps up in here. But also at the same time, too, when I go in that ring, it's domination, and it's like an own personal boot camp on that canvas, so to speak. So it's like a nice tie-in where you could kind of go towards the Trish Stratus realm. I love that because it's another outlet for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, I think with that being said, I mean, from what you're doing and what you're helping people, I think not only do you remain a positive influence on professional wrestling and just a positive influence in life, my dear friend, you get to work with the likes. And I mean, I know you work with the likes of Mickey Knuckles. I know you've been in there with a lot of veterans, but I always love asking this question too as well, because everybody's so different. Everybody's so unique. And as my ninth grade living environment teacher, Mr. Marino, once said, it's all about the pearls of wisdom, so to speak, and the knowledge that you could obtain and give in any type of life. And that's one of the things I hold near and dear to my heart. So for Laylah James, what are some of the pearls of wisdoms that you would give that you've gotten as far as takeaways from professional wrestling? Because my God, man, you never stop learning in professional wrestling.
Yeah, one of the takeaways that I've learned is to just really, just you can't, one thing that I've learned is I can't be too hard on myself. Like I have to know that, things take time. I'm always improving. I'm always learning new things. Each match that I do, I feel like I'm always learning something, so I feel like you really got to just have, people that are really supportive in your circle, that are really wanting to help you and really want what's best for you, because, it's kind of like a competitive business. Wrestling is a competitive business. It's everyone is going to try to go over on you if they have the chance to, But what's important is knowing who you are as a person, and knowing what your goals are, and not allowing people to make you feel like you're not good enough. And I feel like that's why it's important to have like a good supportive circle around you, to really like just help you, remind you that you are good, and it takes time. The circle that I'm around, Grapple Pro and Ground Zero, where I train, both schools are very supportive and very encouraging, and I'm so thankful for them, because a lot of the people, they all are for helping people and making you better. So I'm thankful for those places.
Beautiful and eloquently said, my friend. Adhere to those words by the great Laylah James here. I mean, I look at it like this: when you have a Grapple Pro, a Ground Zero, and I mention women like Mickey Knuckles, who you've worked with, and I mean, you could be here from Slam and Sammy and everybody that you work with. Every opponent's different, and every type of wrestling school is different. But the ultimate goal is to be, as they always say, it takes two to tango, right? You're working with the perfect dance partner. Yes, you're working with the perfect dance partner, and y'all are creating some magic in the process. So, I mean, having that right mindset with any wrestling school, and especially more of them being out there, is so beneficial to anything as far as professional wrestling in all walks of life. Because if you have the right mindset and the discipline, you got it, man. You got it down pat. I mean, I'll even say this I've even noticed with your power game, and also just with everything that you've done from where you were here to now you're going here and making the steps, it definitely shows. And I think you found yourself with your character. Like, you could wear like the coats and everything, and you could just look, dare I say, fabulous, and just everything that goes into it. It has everything that really makes a superstar. And that's the perfect part, because again, everybody can relate to something, whether it be our surroundings, our pop culture. Everybody can relate to something, and that is so key.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And I think you've got to take not only just pride in what you do, and obviously from where you started to where you are now, it's one of those things too, man, where it's just like, God dang it, man, like you constantly learn, like we mentioned, but from year to year, from day to day, from month to month, it's always learning something and adapting and growing. And I think once we break out of our shells, so to speak, it's wonderful. And I mean, even if you look at LFC, wrapping back to LFC for a second here, like a lot of people could be very timid, or could be, very dare I say, apprehensive about even going out there in their lingerie and rocking it in the MMA wrestling side of things. So it takes a lot of confidence, courage, and just a lot of people to really open up. And I think once you do, it's wonderful, man. Dare I say, let it fly, so to speak, not to be confused with Sugar Ray, like a bird up in the sky up so high. But if you let it fly and you let it rip, God dang it, the possibilities are endless.
That's right.
Oh my goodness gracious. But Laylah James, I got to say, first and foremost, from everybody that you've worked with, from all these great promotions, and again, links will be in the descriptions, man. You are much a bright spot in life as you are within professional wrestling and within your fitness, man. Like I said, I've been giddy to having you back on for a round two, because I'm so proud to see the woman that you are, just everything that you're doing. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. You got me. I'm hooked.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for keeping your eyes on me.
Of course, I got my eyes on you, and I got my eyes on a lot of great professional wrestling. It's absolutely wonderful, man.
Yes.
So before we close this thing out, because again, we mentioned the great opponents, we mentioned everything that you have coming up. Before I even do the social media and we get to our final last set of questions here that we're going to talk about in today's show, for you, promote what you have also coming up as far as wrestling matches go. We mentioned great people that you've worked with. We mentioned a lot of great, even the intergender stuff is there, the ladder matches. You're all over the spectrum, and I think it's wonderful because it shows within your reels and the highlights and your overall performance. What do you have coming up, man? Where can we see the Laylah James tour coming to next?
Yeah, so I am going to be in Hampton the 31st of this month in May. I have New Jersey coming up. I have Connecticut. I have San Antonio. I have I have like a lot of different promotions, like so much that it's so hard to keep up in my head. But I always put my dates. I always post my dates on my story for all the cities that I'm going to be going to. And I also post them on my Instagram. So if people follow me on Instagram, they'll be able to see what I'm up to and where I'm going to be. I'm really excited, though, to be making my debut for Battle Club. And I'm going to be doing their Pride show. So I'm really excited to be a part of that. And Albany, New York is having a Pride show this weekend, June 1st. And last year was my first time participating in their Pride show. And this is my second year doing it. So I'm very happy. And I'm pretty sure people will remember me from the last show. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, absolutely. Like if you guys follow me on Instagram, Miss Laylah James, that's where I will be posting all of my next upcoming shows. And I hope that, you guys can all come and see me if I'm in your area. And Facebook, Laylah James, and YouTube, the Laylah James.
Links will be in the description. I will say I have seen a lot of your matches on your YouTube. Go out of your way, folks, because it shows the intergender side and it shows a badass women on women just awesomeness that goes within your overall craft. And I mean, I'm going to ask you this as well, because a couple final questions here and all the links will be on social media. But for you, we mentioned going from intergender to women's wrestling. I think I love it. You have both sides of the spectrum covered. And I think there's so many great different art forms of wrestling. It sticks. But the other thing I got to mention is I'll ask you about the Pride event since you did bring it up. I have actually been to a couple of Pride shows myself back on Long Island. I did a Matter of Pride, which was a great show that featured a lot of great wrestlers. I wanted to definitely go to that. I remember as a youngster, because back in my teenage years, they started doing it. And I'm like, God dang it, man, this is different. This is cool. And it just shows much, much diversity, and it shows more great professional wrestling. So if I'm in the know there, everybody can just like, oof, and it comes to it. Everybody flocks to it because they put on some damn good shows. Even talk about it because, God dang it, Laylah, you've been a proponent of that, like you mentioned from your last show, but it really shows more diversity and equality, man. I think that's a great message that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love that wrestling has evolved this much to where it's all types of different people. That's what makes it so exciting. That's just seeing everyone, and it's inspiring for people to see, because, I feel like there's someone in everyone, Did I say that right? There's someone.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's a cliche, but you said it correctly. There's something for everyone. There's someone in anybody. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. There's someone in anybody. Well, you get what I mean.
I feel
But
you.
yeah, I mean, there could be someone that sees, a Laylah that feels like, they can relate to Laylah, or they can relate to like a Mickey Knuckles, or relate to, another person. You get what I mean? Like, so there's so many different like personalities and different looks that, there's always going to be someone that is going to be inspired by someone, in wrestling, because it's just such a big variety of different people, which I love, so, yeah. But I'm excited for the Pride shows. I'm excited for all the new upcoming cities. I'm excited to be wrestling for San Antonio for the first time ever. I've never wrestled in Texas before, so I'm really excited about that. And never wrestled in Connecticut. So, this year has been like the most busiest year for me in my wrestling career. So like I've been the most busy this year. So I'm very thankful for it. And, we're just half the year in, so I'm excited to know what's happening, the rest of the remainder of the year. So,
I mean, Texas is such a hotbed for professional wrestling from the days of world-class championship wrestling, reality of wrestling with Sucka, Booker T, and so many great people that we get to see in Texas. So I know you're going to ride them, Cowboy, and I know you're going to do the damn thing as far as what we get to see out in Texas. Because as I always say, everything is bigger in Texas, and everything is just going to be awesomeness when you get there. I'm excited to see you make your debut in the Texas front as well, especially San Antonio, the home of the great Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I mean, there's so much to really take in and absorb with professional wrestling. And I got to say this as well for the LFC side of things. I can't wait to see you make your debut. I know we're all excited to see some Laylah James up in the Lingerie.
So yeah, you guys better. Like I pretty much almost show lingerie on my page. So just imagine seeing me in lingerie wrestling.
I was going to say first, and you got to my follow. I was about to say it because when it comes to Laylah James show, folks, if you've not followed her on Instagram, I got to say your photo shoots and everything that comes with the lingerie and a lot of the stuff that you've been putting, I got to say, Laylah James, fly, no lie. Let's put that to the forefront, man. You could put it with rose petals, Valentine's Day, any type of photo. I got you.
Thank you. I'm going to have another spicy one coming up. My birthday is in 2 weeks, so be on the lookout, you guys, for that one.
Well, early happy birthday, Miss Laylah James. Early happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So
Proud up there really quickly.
I know. I'll be honest, I just turned 33 last month, folks. And
so young.
Thank you. But that's the thing
I can't, like, I'm older than you. I can't believe it.
I know. Okay, well, first and foremost, don't even put it like that, because that's the great Aaliyah. That's the great Aaliyah once saying, age ain't nothing but a number. Let's put that into the forefront.
That's true.
That's true.
All
right, yeah. We're showing our age here, folks, but no, I digress. But I digress. I think that's the perfect thing. As they say, with age comes wisdom. So there's a lot of wisdom to take in. But you, my friend, LFC, get her on the show. Get her on any of your shows, because Laylah James is a delight. She will excite. She will ignite. And like the Spice Girls, she will spice up your life, to put in the bluntest.
Ooh, I love that. Look
at
that.
Exciting night, spice up your life.
Catchphrase.
Yeah, I got you. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's always fun. It's always laughs, and it's a great time here at the LFC podcast. And as I always say, to close each and every one of these shows, life is an art form. We're all applying our crafts. Continue to apply your craft in amazing fashion. And much like the title of this show and my mindset, beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Miss Laylah James, I include you in those sentiments. It's always a blast. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself.
The feeling is mutual. Thank y'all.
It's just a laid back vibe, baby.